Hey girl, welcome to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your coach, Alicia Darby. Today we are featuring a special guest, Caitlin Fitzgerald. Now, Caitlin and her family own PreVue Formal and Bridal, which is a gigantic gown store. And by that I mean they have 16,000 dresses in stock. You could literally walk into that store and an hour later walk out with your dream gown. Like seriously. In fact, I did it twice. I did exactly that. Walked in, okay, Caitlin, here's what I'm looking for. She was able to pull the right things, place the right things on me. She's so knowledgeable about designers and about the cut and style and exactly what you need to have for your special event and especially for your pageant. So in this episode, she's going to help you kind of understand a little bit about what to look for, how to prepare for an appointment to find your perfect pageant gown. And they have a special event that is happening this weekend, June 16, 17, and 18 of 2017, and you are invited to attend. So without further ado, please welcome Caitlin Fitzgerald. Hey, Caitlin, thank you so much for being on the Win a Pageant podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's so fun having you on. I know, so when you and I met, it was way back in my wedding days. Like, it feels, I say way back, it was like less than a year ago, but it feels like a long time ago. Anyway, and so I came to your store, PreVue, and fell in love with, like, it was literally the first dress, and people say that, but it is true. But yours was not the first dress I ever tried on. I went to all of the David's Bridal and the couture this and that and the little this here boutique and la la la. And I was like, I know exactly what I want. I just need someone who gets me. And so I went to meet with you. I had an amazing appointment with you. We were like, boom, 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 boom. That's the one. Go. I'm so grateful.
It was so easy.
Yes.
I wanted to see more on you.
I know. Well, it was perfect because it was like also very early. I think I had like 30 days before my wedding. So we were able to like find something and be like, boom, that's the one.
Yeah.
And it was so perfect. Yeah. So I so appreciate that. I know the experience of working with you, even since then, the cocktail dress that we used for the Steve Harvey show, which is like awesome. So we've had like a lot of time to kind of experience that. But I am thrilled to have you on to talk about what your experience is in working with pageant women. So,
yes,
So for people who don't know you yet, or this is the first time that they're hearing of Caitlin Fitzgerald, the amazing from PreVue Formal. I mean, people know you all over the nation for many different, all the dresses that you've done for lots of contestants. Can you share a little bit about you and your role in the pageant industry?
Yes, I am part owner in PreVue Formal and Bridal with my family members, and we dress girls for pageants, women for pageants, for misses, and we also do a lot of bridal, prom, and bridesmaids and things like that. But as far as the pageant world, we have dressed girls for the Earth pageant, for Miss USA, America, any pageant, you name it, we've done it, and we absolutely love it.
You guys are super good at it. I know that. And people actually fly from all over the nation to come see you. So that is such an honor because your store is humongous. The first time, and I'd heard the stories, but the first time I actually walked into the store and I'm like looking at dresses like nearly hanging from the ceiling and I'm thinking, wow. So tell us about, it is, am I correct that it is the largest store in the West Coast?
Yes, so we are the #1 prom store in the country, and we are the largest prom and pageant store on the West Coast. So we do give our customers a few minutes to walk in, take a deep breath. It's overwhelming. We have over 16,000 formal gowns in our store, so we definitely know that the second you come into our store, you will be leaving with your dream dress. It usually can take one dress or it can take 25 dresses to try on, but you will find the one.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So do you have a fun story about somebody that you've worked with, maybe even one of the girls who just competed in the USA pageant last month? Do you have stories about their experiences, someone coming in and like falling in love with anything? Tell me about something.
Yes, actually, most recent story was India Williams, Miss California. She came into our trunk show last spring, and so it was in June, and she tried on her dream dress, and she said, I absolutely love it. This is the one. Price point was higher than expected, and so it took a little bit of time, and being it was her first Miss pageant she was competing in, her mom and dad I think they all agreed that we would take a little bit of time and not dive into that price point for her first Miss pageant. So she stood there and she said, "This is the dress I will wear at Miss USA. I guarantee it. I love it. There's nothing better." So fast forward, she wins California, and we go to Austin to meet with Sherri Hill and all of the contestants where they have their gowns made for Miss USA. And Sherri had seen India in the dress and walked up and she said, "We've been hiding this one for you. This is it. We love it. I see it on you. It's perfect." And she only needed to try on the one. She had known prior that this was what she was going to wear. So that was really fun. She ended up saying, "I'm going to wear this dress." She went into the market to when she was Miss California, put it back on one time and was done. She knew. And so that was really fun to see her walk on the stage. It was almost like she pre-knew that it would be perfect for her.
Oh, yeah. And it was. Oh, so true. That is like, it's fun to hear that story behind that dress because on stage, I can't recall exactly. I'm going to have to look up exactly what they announced as she was walking on stage, but they had a comment to make. I don't know if you remember it. About
Yes, it was along the lines of she knew she was going to have that dress.
Yeah.
I mean, she just looked amazing in it. And so it was fun to see that unfold in the way that every girl hopes.
Yes, so true. Exactly. And it takes a lot of pressure off because finding a gown for your pageant is like, it does feel like your wedding dress, you know, or your red carpet dress or the dress you're going to receive your Oscar award in. You know, it's like a big deal. How do you
I think it's harder.
Yeah. Oh, really? You think it's even harder?
I think it's harder. There's so much thought behind it. With bridal, it's you put it on and it's emotional and you look beautiful and that's it. With pageant, you're trying to outsmart and not wear something similar. And what are the judges going to think? What does my mom think? What's my director think? It's a lot more involved as far as these girls go through a mental. They can't please everybody, so it ends up just being, how do you feel? That's what it comes to at the end.
So true. So how do you navigate that? Because when someone comes, like, let's say India, for example, came to you and is like, okay, help me with this process. What are some of the things that you are looking for or helping to direct them down a path?
So the best thing I can recommend is when these girls come in for them to, which they've already typically done, to look on Instagram, see what they think they can see themselves in, what moves best on stage, and have an idea. But to counteract everything I just said, be very open. Because even when we go to see the newest line, there'll be things that we can't even imagine. You could never describe what you're about to see, and then you see it, and it makes sense, and it's beautiful, and it's gorgeous. But going into our buying market, I would have never guessed that I would choose anything that we actually leave with. So I think it's very similar for the girls. They come in with the idea of what they want, what they know looks good on them, and then we collaborate and always think outside the box. Try on everything.
That's great. Yeah, and I like that you said you do have to kind of know what looks good on you. You don't want to go with some cuckoo color that's just going to be odd or something, you know, if you have a longer torso, that's something to note. If you have a bigger top heavy or bottom heavy, those are things you got to be aware of because you do want the dress, am I right, to like really complement you. So are there specifics, Caitlin, when you work with someone? Do you look for certain things about their body and do you know like, oh, okay, an A-line dress works really well with this type of structure or let's not put that girl on a strapless? Like, do you look for those types of characteristics?
Typically, yes. And I will say that I do gravitate more towards a specific style depending on the girl's body type and how I see them wearing the dresses. But it's one of those things, like I said, you have to still remain very open because there's times where we're very set in our ways and these are all the only dresses we're going to try on. And then we put what we call a curveball in the fitting room and they walk out and it's perfect and it's nothing we would have ever thought, or they've always said that the strapless doesn't work or that they don't have the right body for a mermaid. So there is that guideline that we stick to, but you definitely can defeat the odds and wear something that you never would have thought.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, it's just there's just not a science to it, you know? So many people just want the like tell me the answer. Like show me the textbook that explains exactly what I'm supposed to buy and it's not that, it's more of an art.
And that's how it is in the end. When we get down to 2 or 3 favorites, the contestant, the pageant girl will come out multiple times in each one. So the ending actually is the longest, even though we'll only be in between 2 or 3. That's when it becomes another hour or hour and a half or however long it takes, because at that point, there's not a wrong answer. You have 3 amazing dresses, and you can ask your director, you can ask your mom, you can ask your bridal or your pageant consultant. But really what it comes down to is, how do you feel? Because we've all done everything we can to guide you towards a choice of a few dresses, but at the end, your face and the way you carry yourself is going to be reflected, and how happy you are in the dress will show on stage.
Oh, so true. Yeah. Do you notice, like, let's, for example, the Miss USA system, do you notice that the judges are looking for a specific type, or do you think that the judges are open to whatever walks on stage?
I think the judges are very open to whatever walks out on stage, as far as their personality, as far as their background, who they are, where they come from. There's so many times, I mean, the same way people watch the Super Bowl, or the same way they're very into sports, I think is the same way most of us are into pageants, where we predetermine who we think are going to be in the top 10, and everyone has their piece of paper with all their notes, and why do you think that, and go back and forth. And I feel it's very competitive for everyone watching, as far as, oh, that was my top 5, I knew it right. But whatever I think will be the top 5 is always very different than the person sitting next to me, which is always very different than what the judges end up with. And so I think that they all come into the pageant very open-minded, because as we've seen, there's a different type each time. And so I think it's a very, very good thing that it's not, you have to become this mold. You don't have to be that specific person. You can be completely different, be yourself, and your chances of winning, truthfully, will probably be much higher.
Absolutely, yeah. So how does somebody, from your experience, if there's a woman who is maybe even relatively new to pageantry, she's competed in a couple of pageants but hasn't won her state yet, and she's just trying to figure out how does she know her style? How does she know what colors look good on her? What recommendation would you have for someone who's kind of like just really unsure? Where should they begin?
We've had a lot of girls who either have never done a pageant and we have to try a little bit of everything on them, or we've had women that have competed multiple times. And so in both cases, for someone that's brand new, try on at least one of every color, and we'll take a picture in it, and you can kind of look at it side by side, and then you say, okay, that definitely pops on me a lot more. And maybe I thought red was great, but that's going to be out of the mix, because if I'm standing next to myself in red or an emerald, and if emerald pops, then we'll move forward in that direction, which is also similar for someone that's competed multiple times, because we can put all of their pictures together and say, oh, that maybe wasn't the right one for you that year, and this looks great. Or if it hasn't worked, let's move on. Let's try a different color. So I think it's very good to take photos and to see yourself in these different colors. And most importantly, don't try to outsmart everyone else. I hear all the time, everyone wears white, everyone wears red. Well, those same years that everyone's saying that, no one goes with it. So hello, royal blue. We're all over the stage, So it's nice to just put on a gown, and if it works for you, it works for you. There's no reason to try to outsmart anyone.
That is very freeing for many people, because it is, sometimes we walk in with all those ideas of like, okay, well, I think she's gonna, or they analyze every other state and what she won in. Okay, so she'll wear this, and it's like, we could drive ourselves mad with that kind of behavior.
Yeah, it becomes more a mind game than anything.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. So if someone is coming to you for an appointment, what should they bring with them? So you mentioned the Instagram, they might have a little bit of an idea of what they would like, but then still an open mindset. But is there anything they should bring? Like, should they bring jewelry or shoes, or what undergarments? Like, what should they have with them?
We recommend, as far as undergarments, just a seamless nude underwear. There's so many times they're like, they only focus on the fact that you can see their hot pink underwear. I'm like, it's okay. You won't look like that on stage. And so that ends up being very funny. But I think they'd be more comfortable. So just a nude seamless underwear is great. And shoes, we definitely always have shoes. I know a lot of people travel, and that's the last thing on their mind. But comfortable shoes is great. A lot of times you're in the fitting room, and if you're discouraged or you're not feeling as great, adding uncomfortable feet, and painful feet doesn't really help. So comfortable shoes are great. We have jewelry, but some people are very comfortable with their earrings. They know they're not too heavy. They can last them a long time. So whatever you can physically stand in and maintain the flow of trying on for at least about an hour to 2 hours is typically good.
Okay. That's great to know. So now, one really huge, exciting thing is coming up this weekend for you guys. So, and this truly is an exciting thing because for pageant women, really everyone west of the Mississippi, people are coming out from all over the nation to this event that you are hosting. I believe it's June 16, 17, and 18. So all weekend?
Yes, correct.
And this is the Sherri Hill Trunk Show. So tell us about this event.
Yes, so we are having our Sherri Hill Couture Trunk Show at PreVue Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. And it is a rare opportunity for our customers to travel to us, to fly in. If you live close, come on in. And it's the time when everything that's from the New York Fashion Week is in our store. And all of the couture dresses that Sherri's had in her most recent lines are available for you to try on, to customize, to find the perfect style for you. So whatever you loved on the runway as is, or you can customize it, change the color, change the fit, change the beading, or create your own gown from scratch.
Yeah. And this is like extra special for those of us who did not go to New York Fashion Week this year, because this is an opportunity where we can actually go see those gowns and actually feel how the fabric is different from just every other gown and really experience them in a new way. So these are the actual dresses that she showed at New York Fashion Week?
Yes, the tags say New York Fashion Week, and altered in for those models, and it's really fun to actually physically have the girls try them on, to see the beading up close, because on the runway there's that split second that you get to see it, and the photos never do them justice. Yeah. So it's to have them in store for the girls to try on.
That's so cool. But now I know that because it's couture, this is a line that in fact, probably very few, if any, other stores carry couture gowns. Is that right? So can you help us understand, like, what is the difference between couture and just like the regular Sherri Hill line that most people might be carrying?
Yes. So everyone in the pageant world is obsessed with the Sherri Hill line, whether it's couture, whether it's her prom, whether it's her homecoming. So the difference is when you go on sherrihill.com or PreVueFormalAndBridal.com, Sherri's entire line for prom, for her pageant, for cocktail dresses, or for homecoming, those all are made in quantity with style numbers and prices, and you can add it to your cart, click buy now, and it'll be shipped to you. So these are the 4 colors it comes in, and you purchase and they're shipped. The couture are different in that there's very few stores in the country that do carry the couture line, and they're the gowns that you'll see on the Miss USA stage, Miss America stage, a lot of the state pageants, and they're custom designed and created. So they're made off of a sketch to your measurements, however you want the gown. So if you love everything about a gown, but you need to change the neckline or the silhouette or the color or the beading, that all can be done. So there isn't a way just to see it and purchase it. You actually have to physically try on or send pictures back and forth with measurements, and we can order in that way.
That's great.
The price is higher.
Yes, of course, because they're doing specific things. It's not just being like mass produced and anyone can buy them. So it's also higher quality, I imagine, because they're only making one. It's not like they're just running these through machines, and not like those are horrible quality either, but you definitely expect on the national stage, you do expect a high quality dress. So talk to us about the price point difference.
So price point typically for what you see on sherrihill.com or PreVue.com, those are all going to be typically anywhere from $500 to $700, with definitely many more lower and a few in the higher price point than that. And then the couture will typically be anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 or $7,000, depending on how much beading, the fabric, the style. And so you can definitely customize depending on what your price point is, what you're looking for. But the truth is, as you said, the quality. When you see the Swarovski crystals and you feel the different fabrics and the texture and just the amount of yardage and fabric in these full skirts, there's really nothing like it. And so that's definitely one of those things where you put it on and it's a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes, I love that. And you can tell, I mean, as you're trying them on, you can tell a big difference between the gowns that are inexpensive. Not that you can't win in an inexpensive gown by any means, but heck, when you're going to your pageant, don't you want to look like a princess? Like you just want to feel like some people you only get one shot at it, or for people, I didn't even know when I was aging out, I aged out, I aged out, I aged out. It's like, you want to go out with a bang. So yeah,
Yes,
so
and it also does, since you are customizing it, you can create your own gown and know that you will be the only person on stage, even in anything remotely close to what you're wearing. And so, with all the other gowns that are ordered off of our website or purchased in store off the rack, we definitely, as a store, we won't sell the same dress, the same pageant, or same event, which is a really fun thing for prom girls and for pageant. And so, we do everything we can to minimize duplicate gowns on stage. But when you do the custom, you go into that pageant knowing this is you, this is your gown, and you will be different than everyone else.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I love it. So exciting. It makes me want to get a gown. I'm like, oh, I just want to try them on. So tell me about this experience. Because for some people, the $3,000 gown, the $6,000 gown, that is just out of they're thinking like, nah, I don't really care that much. Like, I'd like to win my pageant, but I don't need to I'm not gonna remortgage the house for that. So
Right.
for those people, if they are interested still in coming this weekend to check out the couture gowns, are they still able to, if they decide that isn't for them, and then
Correct.
they could still buy something else, right, from the store? You've got 16,000 other gowns to choose from, right?
Yes, yes. So it's definitely one of those situations where we do make appointments for the girls that are coming in for the couture, but the room's open. And so it's so fun to have girls come in, look at the gowns. You see customers trying to peek in, going, what's going on in there? These women, they're so beautiful in these dresses. So it's definitely it's a sight unseen. It draws a crowd, and the girls do love it. So we absolutely love having everyone come into the store and be able to see these gowns, since it is truthfully the only time you'll see them in person. And then, like you were saying, we have over 16,000 gowns in our store, and everything that's in our main building is going to be in the price point typically from $500 to $700, with a few higher price point. But for pageant, you can easily walk away with a gown around $500. And like you said, win.
Yeah.
You can really win in anything. It's all about you.
So true. Yeah, I love that. So okay, so for people who are interested, they're like, okay, I want to do this. They know it's going to be packed, right? So I imagine there's going to be lots of people. Can you first tell me, when does it open and close each day?
So on Friday, we are open from 9:30 to 9, and we do take appointments as late as 8 p.m. And then Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday, 11 to 7. So we can take appointments on the hour anytime that weekend.
Yeah, that's great. So morning, afternoon, evening time, that's great. So what is the best way to make an appointment?
So my cell phone number is 619-957-5175. Most girls can either give me a call or shoot me a text message, and I'll respond fairly quickly, and we can schedule you that appointment. We typically like to make appointments ahead of time, because that way we don't have girls competing in the same pageant, trying on together and overlapping each other. And that way, too, it's much more one-on-one.
Yeah, that's nice. And that makes a big difference. I know, trying dresses on, you don't want your competitors there. Not that it needs to be like a nasty experience, but you ought to, I believe that women do deserve that opportunity to not be influenced by all of the other people, the watching eyes, someone else in their pageant that's like, well, if she's going to wear red, then I'm going to, So that's nice that you're willing to do that and really work out those times respectfully,
Yes, I think so much of it is that wow factor, and having your secret gown in that bag and stepping out on stage for the first time and knowing that very few people have seen it.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, cool. So I will make sure that your cell phone number is in the show notes so that people can reach out to you directly. If somebody is interested in checking out your store, but they are not able to come this weekend, is that still the best way to get in touch with you?
Yes, anytime. Call me, text me. I hear from girls in the middle of the night. We're all in different time zones, so anytime I'm open.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love that. And it is fun, Caitlin. I just want to honor you for the work that you are doing in this industry because it is so fun watching you on Instagram and following your travels and the support that you have with these women that are competing and year after year seeing you supporting multiple contestants. Because at any given pageant, you have several people up there that are wearing dresses from your store. So you're kind of rooting for all of them. And I just want to honor you for the support that you offer to those women because it's truly valuable and it's needed in this industry. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you. And there's no other support like the pageant girls with each other. I've never seen anything like it, and I really do appreciate how they are. It goes both ways, so I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Cool. So other than cell phone number, is there another way that they can connect to the store? Or maybe if they want to kind of see the behind the scenes of what's this huge store really even look like? Can you share your social media and website where people can find you?
Yes, so our website is www.prevue, and it's PREVUE, formalandbridal.com. And on there, you can see all the dresses we have to offer. And there's also a contact us section that does show video footage of the store. So you can see for yourself how many gowns are packed into our little space. And then we also have our Instagram. And so that's Instagram and just /PreVue Formal and Bridal. And the nice thing about that is you can see the latest, the newest arrivals. We do post our pageant girls, and so they get a lot of love back and forth from all their other contestants. So it's fun to see everyone communicating with each other on our Instagram.
That's great. Yeah, cool. Yay. Well, I am super excited for the event this weekend. It's going to be incredible. I hope that you will have lots of caffeine handy for yourself because you're going to be doing lots of pageant this weekend. So it's going to be super fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you again, Caitlin, for being on the Win a Pageant podcast. Such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you loved it. And if you did, would you please give it a big old thumbs up below and maybe even leave a comment for myself or for Caitlin if you have additional questions about your evening gown. I know that she would love to hear from you. Thank you again for being an avid fan of the Win a Pageant podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so you get access to all of our videos. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next Win a Pageant Wednesday. Bye for now.